What's up, everybody? It's Mekel Kasanova, Hawaii's favorite YouTuber, host of the #1 podcast in the state of Hawaii, the Kasanova Podcast. I'm back with another video. It's been a while since I've done a review, been about a couple weeks. I've been going through a lot of transitions, a lot of busy things have been happening at my job. Well, yes, I have a day job outside of doing content creation, but it's been kind of busy, so I do apologize for being gone, but I thank you guys for still being subscribed to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe if you haven't already, ding the notification bell. That way you know all the newest content that's coming out for this channel, such as every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a new episode of the Kasanova Podcast with various voice actors, celebrities, stream coaches, esports figures, game developers, and so much more. And also Monday, Wednesday, I stream at 6 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, Fridays at 7 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, and on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on youtube.com/Mekel Kasanova, twitch.tv/Mekel Kasanova, and mixer.com/Mekel Kasanova. So that cheap plug out the way, go follow if you haven't already. We're going to talk about today a new game that's come out, and it's a game that I truly enjoy, and it's called Tiny Metal Full Metal Rumble. As you guys already know, I previously reviewed Tiny Metal, the original, back in 2017, and it covered in that review both the PC and the Nintendo Switch variations of that game, and I thought it was phenomenal. The only thing I kind of wanted was more voice acting and, you know, a 3D layout for like the map. That way it's not just 2D and you're just seeing like a stilted image, but something you can actually explore. Well, my wishes actually got granted in this new entry, and I'm really happy about that because Full Metal Rumble is a significant jump in quality over the original, and the original was already freaking phenomenal. So with that being said, we're going to talk about whether this game lives up to what the predecessor was, if it exceeds Advanced Wars, Battalion Wars, and pretty much everything else out there, including Wargroove, or if it's a dud. So, that being said, let's go ahead and roll the intro. Now, when it comes to the story of Tiny Metal Full Metal Rumble, it's basically picking up where Tiny Metal left off. You're still having Nathan Grace, the main character of the series, and you're also shifting to the two other characters that were introduced in the first game. So you'll play with the units from the Artemis faction, you'll transition over to many others, and the story just keeps going and going. I'm not going to talk about the story here because I think this is something you should just play, experience, and enjoy. Each one of the levels basically it's progressively a bigger and bigger map, that each level from the first all the way up until I want to say the 6th, 7th, or 8th map, you're being taught different functions, you're shown the different units that you get, and it gives you the perfect scenario to be able to utilize that and go forward. Since, you know, if you were to go into skirmishes, you'd be able to utilize on a pre-configured map any unit that you've acquired within the story mode. That right there is what I really love about this game, is not only can I play single player when it comes to the story, I can also play online multiplayer for skirmishes, and I get to practice. And I know it's not something new, there are other games that have been doing that as well, but a lot of this really started with the original Tiny Metal, and I think that Area 35 just did a phenomenal job with that. One of the things I really enjoy when you're in battle is that you're able to pan around the map and actually rotate the camera, which is something that was a bit restricted in the first title that's thankfully not in this one. And you get to see different things like where you want to position your troops, where potential enemies are going to be coming, and I do this because more often than not, if you see a smoke screen, there's typically going to be a helicopter that's going to just pop up and just wreck you. But other than that, I mean, there's just so much variety to the gameplay. The game's characters are fully voiced this time around, which is something completely different from the original that I'm very, very grateful for that they actually included that in this title. Now, as you guys saw, when I was streaming Tiny Metal, I was streaming it for about 3 to 4 hours back when it first came out, and I was just playing so much of it. And I actually had to stop streaming it because I wanted to just experience it for myself, by myself. And man, let me tell you, the story, the gameplay, the graphics, I love it. There are key differences between the Switch and the PC version. Most notably is the Switch version runs at about 30 frames per second. This PC version runs at about 60. You'll notice that dip in smoothness and transition quality when you put them side by side like I'm doing here. You'll also notice that certain things don't look as crisp on the Switch, even docked, that they do on the PC version. And that's just, I mean, that's kind of the nature of the thing when it comes to games that come out on the Switch and other platforms. We should be used, 2.5 years now, we should be used to this. But the fact that this game is only 14 bucks, it's 14 bucks, fully featured. I don't know how you skip that. I don't, this is such a fully featured game. You would expect this to be the price of what Valkyria Chronicles 1 and 4 are, but it's not. And it's just as feature rich as those titles. And I also got the opportunity to interview the creator, producer, and director of Tiny Metal, none other than Hiroaki Yura, on the Kasanova podcast. Link to that will be up in one of these corners and down in the description below. And basically, we got to talk about what inspired him to create Tiny Metal, as well as Tiny Metal Full Metal Rumble, and whether we're going to see more titles in this series. It's definitely worth checking out. I definitely enjoyed interviewing him. I can't wait to have him back on the show. And honestly, I don't know what else there is to say other than this game is Kasanova approved, and you should go out and pick it up because it's just that good. That's just how good this game is. I thoroughly enjoy it. Iro-san, thank you for allowing me the opportunity not only to interview you, but to experience this quality title that you've put out. There's not much else I can really say. I mean, the title's great. I enjoyed it. I think you'll enjoy it. You can't go wrong for the price. It's about 14 bucks. And if you want more titles like this in the Tiny Metal franchise, since clearly Nintendo is not really trying to bring us another Advance Wars title, so somebody had to not only step up and take the reins, but they had to take it further than Nintendo ever would have. I'm going to say this right now. We really don't need another Advance Wars because Tiny Metal is everything that Advance Wars is and greater. This is what I really like about titles that come out like this, is they're able to take an established formula and just jettison far past it to being their own greatness. And that's exactly what this is. This is exactly what Blazing Chrome is to Contra, and so much more. So, Yura-san, thank you so much for making this great game. I hope to see more in this series, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So if you did, make sure you like this video, leave a comment down below, and then subscribe if you haven't already. Ding the notification bell. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, all that in between, whichever way you sway. I don't care. Let me know. Let's get the conversation going down below. And that's wrap up for this episode. Got nothing else to say. I'll see y'all in the next one.